A very warm welcome to all the children of grade 8. Well, we are back again with our lesson of 1 children that is all about transportation of materials in the plants. In the earlier session, just to revise, let me remind you, it was all about how exactly does the water and mineral gets absorbed from the soil into the plant with the help of certain root hairs, then it passes to the cortical cells, then furthermore into the xylem vessels. And when the food is prepared in the leaves, it also gets transported through the phloem vessels, right? Yeah, these were the processes that we studied in the first session of our lesson. Let us go ahead today to see further like how and what are the processes used, in which way are exactly the water and the minerals absorbed. Okay. So let us continue further. Material transport in plants. The materials are absorbed and transported across membranes in following ways. There are three very important processes: diffusion, osmosis, and active transport. So let us see the definition of diffusion. The movement of molecules of solids, liquids, and gases from a region of their higher concentration to a region of their lower concentration until concentration of both the regions is uniform. Now, this is what the definition is given in your textbook. Okay, so it says whenever there is the higher concentration of the molecules, it might be of the solids, liquids, or the gases. So the molecules are going to travel from the higher concentration towards the lower concentration. Just like if you climb a top hill, the top of the hill, and you're coming down, right now, just like the waterfall from higher concentration to the lower concentration, right? That is called as diffusion until the concentration of both the side becomes uniform, it becomes equal. Okay, so how does it actually apply in plants? For transport of minerals and water in the roots. Okay, this kind of process is required in the plants for the transport of minerals and water in the roots. For exchange of gases in photosynthesis and respiration, yeah, this is also a process. This process is also used during photosynthesis and respiration process. For transpiration process, we all know what is transpiration when the water vapor is given out from the leaves. Microplants use different methods of various transport material. So there are very small plants as well that use diffusion method for the various transport of material. Okay. Now let us see what transport of water and minerals in the plants. How exactly does this happen? Let us study how does diffusion happen in the plants. So when the plants get thirsty, just like we all get, okay, in the summer season we get a little more, it needs water. And when the concentration of the water in soil is more as compared to the cell sap in root hair, okay, along the concentration gradient. Concentration gradient is nothing but a graph like structure, a linear structure, okay, where it has to be stable. So wherever there is higher, the higher molecules will move from higher to the lower to make the concentration gradient equal. I know. Furthermore, it says, see, concentration gradient is a gradual difference in concentration of solute in a solution between two regions. Solute, let us see what is a further example. I'll just narrate to you. But let us first see that in plants, this process is used for the absorption of water and minerals in the soil. So it says that when the concentration of water in soil is more as compared in the root hair. Inside root hair there will be this small structure called as cell sap, or you can say vacuoles, which store the cell sap, and the concentration is low in plants. So it will get thirsty, it will start absorbing the water that is present in the nearby soil by the process of diffusion. Okay. Now furthermore, it says that it is also used for exchange of gases in photosynthesis and respiration. We all know that in photosynthesis there is exchange, right, of gases. In respiration there is exchange of gases. We have seen last year how exactly this photosynthesis and respiration are opposite to each other. Okay, the diffusion of gases mainly happens in this. So diffusion is an important you can say process been used in both of these important processes. Next is for transpiration process. As I told you, water that is absorbed by the roots reach the leaves through the xylem vessels and given out by the diffusion for transpiration. Next is, for one more purpose is there, in unicellular organisms like Chlamydomonas and multicellular organisms like Spirogyra, the minerals get transported by the method of diffusion. Because they're so small, they do not need any kind of special vessels like xylem, phloem and all. It just simply works out with the help of diffusion. Okay. Yeah. Children, now this is an experiment based on the process of diffusion. Okay, the materials required is a beaker, water and few copper sulfate crystals. Procedure is drop a pinch of these crystals in a beaker of water, allow them to settle and note the change. The observation you are going to see is the crystals begin to dissolve. The water around copper crystals appear blue and gradually all water becomes uniformly colored. Blue, that is. So conclusion is, initially the streaks of blue color appear around the crystals, and the molecules of crystals move from a region of higher concentration, and it will keep on dispersing where there is very low concentration till the color spreads all around. Okay, so this is a small experiment to study about the process of diffusion. See, this is how it is. It looks in the beakers over here, few copper crystals, then it starts from the molecules will move from higher concentration to all the other parts of the glass, and then the beaker is full of blue color. Next process is osmosis. Please remember, it applies only for the water. For the absorption of minerals, it is another process. You can say diffusion, or you can say active transport is a process used. Osmosis exclusively belongs to the absorption of water only. Okay, the movement of water or solvent molecules from a region of its higher concentration to a region of its lower concentration across a semi-permeable membrane. We are going to see what is a semi-permeable membrane. Okay, this process also will continue till the concentration becomes equal on both the sides of the membrane. What is semi-permeable membrane? It is a membrane that allows the passage of water or solvent molecules but prevents the entry of solute molecules. We are going to see what is a solvent and what is a solute. A solvent is a substance that dissolves a solute, okay, resulting in a solution. Let us see. The minor component in the solution dissolved in the solvent. It is a very minor component in a solution that gets dissolved in a solvent. For example, now let me tell you, a solution is a final product once a solute is dissolved within a solvent. A very important example of a solution used in hospital is saline, used in IVs, that is intravenous. Saline is made up of salt and water. Salt is dissolved into the water. So salt is a solute, water is a solvent, and then whatever mixing together happens, it becomes a solution. Understand? Here salt is a solute. Simple ways, if you have lime water also, like you'll have, we'll put some sugar in that. Suppose you take a glass of water and you use sugar. Okay, so water is your solvent, sugar is your solute, and whatever the glucose water you're getting then is going to be the solution. Understand? So that's the difference between solute, solvent and a solution. The conditions inside the root hair. Okay, what happens inside the root hair? It is all based on these conditions when the osmosis begins. So generally, the concentration of the minerals in the cell sap is more as compared to the concentration in the soil water. So the concentration of the water molecules is higher in the soil than in the root hair cells. There are two conditions mentioned here, right? First is, it says that the concentration of the minerals, the first condition is stated to the minerals. The second condition is talking about the water. Please take a note of that. Do not get confused. So when the concentration, we are going to exclude out the first condition. We are going to focus on when the concentration of water molecules is higher in the soil. This is what we are going to pick for now for osmosis. So in the third point I have mentioned that, so that is the reason osmosis is initiated. Water will enter from the root cells through a semi-permeable membrane of the root. Understand? Because the concentration of water is less in the root hair, so it is thirsty, and water is available in the soil, so it will start this osmosis process. Forget about the first point. It is stating about the concentration of minerals in the cell sap. That means minerals is generally very high in amount in plants as compared to the water. So it is in more need of water than the minerals. Now activity based on osmosis. Consider two liquids A and B of different concentration separated by a parchment paper. Parchment paper is a grease and moisture resistant paper specially treated for this oven use, baking purpose and all. Okay. It acts as a semi-permeable membrane. Remember, it will select only few substances that are required and it will not take in everything. So liquid A, more water molecules and less solute molecules, that is salt, is a dilute solution. That is liquid A. And in liquid B, it is consists of less water molecules and more solute. Salt is content is more, just like I told in a previous condition, the first condition that we read, that the minerals are more and water is less. Okay, that is liquid B. Now what will happen, obviously, because the concentration of water molecules is more in A, it will start moving towards B, which is having less water molecules, till the concentration of water becomes equal, okay, on both the sides, leading to the rise of water in the B solution. So this is the kind of diagram I have used here, but you can actually refer to the pic that is given to you in your textbook. Okay, it is just showing that water molecules through the semi-permeable membrane is passing on to the region of higher salt concentration in an attempt to equalize the solute concentration. Fine, to equalize the concentration of the water on both the sides. Okay, it is very simple. The higher concentration molecules will go towards the lower concentration because of the pressure of those higher concentrated molecules. Now pathway of the water absorbed by the roots. Let us just see how does the water flow. Water is always available around the water particle. When the concentration of water becomes higher in soil than in the root hair cells will start absorbing the water by osmosis. Now the concentration of the water in root hair cell is more in adjacent cells. They are called as cortical cells. So now there is so much of water around it. Osmosis will again happen and water will again move towards the next cells. This continuously happens and a root pressure is developed because of the movement of the water molecules. Okay, it is called as root pressure. Now xylem will further transport it towards the other parts of the plant. And there is also this ascent of sap that we read. Okay, so furthermore, ascent of sap is also helping to transport the water to the other parts. So this is the pathway of water absorbed by the roots. There is a picture given in your textbook as well. You can see from the root hair how the water has been entering into the root hair, then through the epidermal cells into the cortical cells, into the cortex, furthermore into the xylem vessels. Right, this is for the water. Activity of raisins. It's a very simple activity. I'll just tell you, if you just take a bunch of raisins and put them in water, after a few hours you're going to see that the raisins are swelled up. Nowadays you can use another dry fruits, like to consume. It becomes easy for the metabolism. So but the textbook has given mention example of raisins. Okay, now why is the swelling and why are the raisins swollen up after few hours? Obviously the process of osmosis has happened and the outer skin of the raisins are acting as a semi-permeable membrane. The water from the beaker has entered into the raisins, that is why it is more in weight. Fine, it's a very simple activity. Next activity is also there that you are supposed to do. Observe osmosis using potato. Okay, now this is a experiment that is given in your page number 19. So you are going to refer in the PDF and tell me what is the observation. Okay, I've kept it as blank. Okay, so I'm not going to read out the activity. You're going to go through it by yourself and you're going to tell me what is the observation and what do you conclude from that observation. Okay, there's one more activity which is given on page number 20. You're supposed to, even if you are not going to perform it, if you are able to perform, please try it out. But if you are not able to perform, you have to learn aim, observation and conclusion. That is what is asked in the exam. Okay, that is also important because we cannot just keep on covering each and every activity. 2 of them I have read it for you. There are 2 I have given you to do it by yourself as an assignment. Okay, you will enjoy it also, children. Do it. Okay, and tell me what is the conclusion, or what is the first the observation and then the conclusion. So next, last process is the active transport. This is meant for mineral salts now. Mineral salts here means not the salt that we consume. It is salt means residues. The mineral, small amount of residues of the minerals. Macro and micro nutrients are there. Like we have carbohydrates, proteins and all. Similarly, plants also need these minerals. So definition is the movement of the molecules or ions from the region of their lower concentration. Please note, lower concentration to a region of their higher concentration. Okay, here it is against the concentration gradient, because generally molecules will flow from higher to lower, but in this case it is flowing from lower to higher, so it is going to need an extra energy. Here I have mentioned, see, if you, when you go on a trek, you need a lot of energy to climb up, right? No, because you're climbing up, you're getting exhausted, your energy is getting consumed. Similarly, when these molecules have to travel from lower concentration to higher, it will need extra energy, and this energy is supplied by these ATP molecules. Please remove that thing, that is wrong. ATP molecules that is liberated during the process of respiration, right? Now energy is liberated as soon as the food is broken down. That is called as respiration. So that energy is being used here for the active transport, because it needs the, because always the concentration of mineral salts is more in the plant than in the soil, so it will have to take up extra energy to take in those minerals present in the soil. The small molecules of minerals are called salts. Okay, these salts are of nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium in the form of ions, and are absorbed by the roots from a region of their lower concentration, just as I told you. And the energy is supplied by ATP molecules, respiring cells. See now, this is an example. Minerals enter a root cell by active transport. The plant uses energy to move minerals up the concentration gradient from the soil into the root cells. I'm going to post this PDF in the group as well. You can go through the PDF very properly later. Okay, so active transport, there is very less, you can see mineral elements in the soil, and it is more in the plant, so it is going to require extra energy. So that's it for the session today, children. We have covered diffusion, osmosis and active transport. These are the very important transportation processes, or say absorption processes. Okay, furthermore, there are only two more topics remaining. Please go through the PDF of the lesson, learn the definitions of all the three processes, go through the experiments. 2 I have explained to you. 2 you have to perform, and let me know what is the observation and the conclusion for the same. Okay. So I told you from exam point of view what is all important. The definitions are important. Where, how exactly is the diffusion used, applicable for the plants? There are 3 points given. It is used for in smaller microorganisms, how it is used in the process of photosynthesis and respiration, right? So please study all the points that are given in the PDF. Even if you go through the PDF, is going to be helpful for you. Fine then, have a very nice day. If there are any doubts, you can let me know in my personal WhatsApp number. And furthermore, let us meet in the online session, so that time you can clear up our doubts and all. Okay, till then, please start writing the notes in your notebook. Just the long answer questions. Do not write short answer questions. You can start writing long answer questions in the notebook. Okay, I have put the notes as well, so you can just take down. You can write your answers in points, in mind maps, in flow charts. I don't want big paragraphs. I give you the liberty. Be specific in your answers. Okay, so start writing the long answer questions in the notebook. Yes, children, have a very nice day. Take care of yourself and stay home, and whenever you're outside, please use whatever precautionary measures are to be taken. Have a very nice day, children. Bye for now.